Thanks everyone for being here tonight. We're gonna call this meeting to order, the joint budget and town council meeting. Would you like to stand for those who want to pledge allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, roll call. We start with town council first. Gardner.
Present.
Christie.
Excused.
Deacon.
Here.
Pomelo. Pomelo excused or absent.
I have not.
I'm checking on him now.
All right, Strubing.
Here.
Thomas.
Here.
And Watson.
Here.
All right, then we continue over to the budget committee. Kassad.
Here.
Finley.
Here.
McFerrin.
Here.
Paul.
Here.
Perrin.
Here.
Wade.
Here.
And Watson.
Here.
Excellent. Before we get to new business, just a couple announcements. One, the new mic system is extremely sensitive, so if we could refrain from shuffling a lot of papers and clicking pens, it's getting picked up and it's kind of distorting what's being said. Also, someone wanted to have something read before the meeting started. This is Izzy Higgins. I feel it would be a right thing to do to designate a set amount to our libraries, especially the Standish Historical Society. If smaller towns, Baldwin, I think is one, can designate an annual $10,000 stipend for their historic society, we should also be able to do so. So we read that one. Each organization tonight that comes up, we're gonna allow 3 minutes for your presentation. We're gonna keep them short and sweet. Comments, same, keep them brief. We really appreciate every organization that comes. They all have personal stories, but we're gonna keep them short tonight. After we hear from all of the organizations tonight, the town council and the budget committee will meet and make tentative funding decisions. That means they can change. So if it's a yes tonight, that doesn't mean it's a yes until the budget is adopted in June. No final funding decisions will be made until that adoption in June. So stay involved. If you want to keep track of contributions, stay involved. All right, new business.
Yep, we're gonna be doing the review of the FY27 municipal budget to hear donation requests, and then after that, we'll continue the review of the operating budget.
All right, so that being said, let's jump right in and start with the cemetery associations. Is that correct? Is there a representative from Oak Hill tonight? No Oak Hill? Thank you.
So
one of the,
we're gonna add that.
yeah. One of the stipulations, just so everyone is aware, is you have to show up and present to be considered in the running for one of the community grants, so. How about Standish Village Cemetery?
This is my 15, 20 years here. Pam Slattery Thomas. I have a cold, so might be hard to hear, but short and sweet. So first I want to thank you very much for last year's and every contribution. We've really made progress, and I also want to thank the Parks Department for having that tree cut down. It was so dangerous in the front lawn. It was a big improvement. It was so much safety. So that so basically, I think you must receive just about every detail that you requested. Do you have any questions about that?
Any questions from the council? Jen?
This wasn't in our packet or on the request form. When was this received?
It was received in time. It was just missed going through, but it went to a spam box instead, and we do have confirmation that it was in between the December 15th and February 15th.
Thank you. The request amount is 5,000, correct?
10.
10,000?
No, I'm sorry. Right.
Five.
Because I'm 5.
All right. Any question from budget?
I like your sales pitch, though.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Richville Library.
Good evening, I'm Lynn Knowlton from the Richville Library. We are in the process of emailing the rest of our receipts. We just had to get them off the computer. And I'm having to hack my speech down from 5 minutes to 3 minutes, so bear with me on that. Good evening. The Richville Library has been busy. We continue to offer a safe place for our youth to learn and read with a space big enough to stretch, jump, and make a bit of noise. Space to do their own art, feel safe to make mistakes, and be part of the community. Feel successful and enjoy the abundant and varied selection of books. Our 4 volunteer librarians are busy freshening up our shelves and expanding with our new and returning patrons' needs. We're excited to announce the installation donated to us last year saved us approximately $100 each month in electricity to heat. We would not have been able to increase our programming throughout the winter without that added help. Thank you, thank you. We have even bigger goals in 2026, a central heating and cooling system. We were asked to speak at a community meeting about our youth programming in February. They stated that keeping the children warm and safe is important and that they would donate the seed money needed for a grant process. But this meeting came up with so much more. We secured $2,500 seed money, also earmarked to offset the cost of last year's estimate of $18,258, with an invitation for youth program funding at the end of the year. From that meeting, a retired HVAC tech offered to donate installation labor with our volunteers to help install ductwork for the forced hot air furnace and AC coil, reducing the quote to a half. If we can raise another $7,000, our supporters are looking to make this happen early this summer. Other members came forward with other speaking arrangements and matching grants for us. We do have a connection for lower bulk fuel pricing with area businesses as well. There are other maintenance streams, I'm not going to go into those, but we have the list that if you know volunteers that are interested or anyone skilled in those areas, please let them know. We had incredible volunteers in 2025, over 2,800 volunteer hours, which equals about $42,000 donated from our community for time. Other donations was $11,600 donated for raffle prizes and infrastructure to make our Founders Day successful. That was not money that we saw, that is just what was donated for tents and everything else. We are jumping on the bandwagon for Programming Focus if you see it on Facebook. We've been focusing on the youth, adult, and senior programming. We're continuing our partnering with neighboring libraries. Paula from North Gorham Library volunteered at our Story Time and Fun before retiring from both libraries this past summer. Steep Falls Library has been helping get the word out about our community room, what it has to offer for children and families. We hosted a puzzle swap with Sebago Spalding Memorial Library and attended their great puzzle race celebrating International Puzzle Day. We won. Okay. We can send patrons to Steep Falls Library if there's a need for us of the warming or cooling resources due to power outages. Well, thank you. Sorry, we're out of time.
Thanks, Lynn. Any questions from council? Any questions from budget committee?
Just one. You're raising $7,000, or that is part of the 20?
We are raising $7,000. We're trying to, well, it was all going down so fast right as the deadline was coming up. So we just requested the $2,000 that we have for books and media, because that's been kind of our standby go-to amount. And that way it doesn't raise our taxes.
You're requesting 2,000 or 20,000?
2,000.
It should be a decimal.
Okay, that should be a period, not a comma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
That's-
No,
yeah,
no,
okay.
2,000.
Councilor Deacon, did you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to add that when you give us information about your volunteers. You should be aware that the University of Maryland has a research center where they calculate the value of volunteers nationwide and by state. And I don't remember, it slipped my mind the exact number for Maine, but it's over $25 an hour. So that's significant.
I just did it as 15, so.
When the people contribute their time, it's not only a monetary value, but it's a labor of love because they care about the organization. So it's important to note that you have volunteers that support what you do.
Yes.
One other thing I did want to ask, there are 3 libraries in town. Some people would say maybe we could do with just one. Why should we have 3 libraries?
We each have something special to offer. I was talking to Jennifer this morning and she was saying, as far as we are more than welcome to send everybody over that has power out or has needs that their house is not warm enough, or if they're too hot in the summer. We didn't have the AC, we're hoping to this summer, but what happens if we have too many people? We have different strengths and we're using each other's strengths and weaknesses to actually help out the town. Because not every library like North Gorham doesn't have a lot of space in it. So we have more place for our kids to play or for our seniors to get together to do different programs.
One last thing, some people see libraries as antiquated and out of date in a digital world. There are certain people in Maine that are frequent users of libraries. Could you tell me who those people are and why that's important?
I don't, well, as far as a type of people.
Well, my answer would have been seniors, for example, as well as children who go to libraries. Seniors, because in many libraries, if somebody needs to have something printed or use a computer, often it's the library and the librarian that can be very helpful to that person who's not tech savvy, doesn't have the equipment. The community knows you can go to your library. We're a rural community. There's no Staples in town. There's no Kinko's in town, but the library has resources where if somebody did need something printed or to get access to a computer, they could go to the library. And those are important.
Yeah, we have
points of access.
a wide variety of people coming in now. It is very exciting for all of our libraries that sometimes the librarians are looking a little frazzled because they're not used to as many people coming in as they used to. We've had people that are new to the area that haven't set up their internet that come in and print off forms or tax forms. Again, same thing. It didn't matter whether it's seniors or younger folks, they're coming in to use the computer for printing or copying purposes. We have young families that just need, especially if it's raining or snowing, to get out of the house. And not only do they use the library to pick out books, but then they can go into the big room, the community room, to be able to do crafts, have some time just to blow off some steam in a different location. I've got the tactile table now, so it's not just for the little kids. The seniors can actually work their fine motor skills to be able to strengthen their fingers or keep the strength up.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Any other questions? Awesome. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Moving on to the Steep Falls Library.
Good evening, I'm Jennifer Thomas. I'm the president of the Steep Falls Library Board of Trustees. We are asking for a donation of $20,000. We are eternally grateful for the town's support. We've been able to purchase a generator. We've been able to purchase heat pumps. This winter, we were offering warming days when it was bitterly cold, and we're excited to be able to be a cooling site in the summer for people who need to get a respite from the heat. Some projects that we have for this year coming up, now that we have our heat set and our cooling needs met, we need to start looking at the windows in our building. The original building was built in 1917, the addition was built in 1924, and the choice we are forced to make is, do we spend the money to keep it historical, which, as you can see from the window quote that's attached, is significant, it's in the 6 figures, or do we cheap out and put in something that's going to take away the historical character of the building? The other things that we have, projects that we have going on, We're going to be refinishing the entry doors, both entry doors. We are going to be doing some parking lot maintenance. And we need to build some sort of roof structure over our handicap ramp so when the snow slides off of the slate roof, it's not falling onto patrons. But we've had a busy year at the library. We have a book club, we have a sewing night, we have someone available to help with genealogy. We have computers for research and printing. We have Wi-Fi available 24/7. Many times you'll see people sitting in the parking lot when the library is not even open using our Wi-Fi. We have been able to tailor our new book purchases to series that the kids and other residents are reading. We are a drop-off site for the Baldwin Food Pantry. We've discovered that that's where a lot of Steep Falls residents are going. The Baldwin Food Pantry is serving between 30 and 40 families every pickup day. We are lucky that the main library system has secured for us free cable TV through Spectrum. Our internet access is free. We are able to issue Portland Public Library cards so that people can order ebooks, and we are a telehealth site for Maine Health. We are open 4 days a week, on Mondays from 9:30 to 7, on Tuesdays from 9:30 to 6, on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 2, and Thursdays from 12 to 5. We'd love to see people come and use what we have available. Our operating budget, it's not cheap to open the library. Unfortunately, our operating budget's about $58,000 a year for utilities and staff and supplies. We do fundraising. Last year, our fundraising raised just over $10,000. We are fortunate enough to have an endowment. We draw $1,500 a month on the endowment, and then when we have a shortfall at the end of the year, we draw on that. If I may have one more second, I just wanted to give you the balance of the endowment because I forgot to put that in my packet. As of the end of January, the balance in the endowment account was $492,420.49.
Thanks, Jen.
I'm happy to answer any questions.
Counselor Deacon?
Thank you. It's the Steep Falls Library. We live in the town of Standish. Steep Falls has their own zip code. There is a Steep Falls Village Association. Where does the Village Association typically meet?
They meet at the library.
They meet at the library. Point I'm trying to make is Steep Falls is a very special part of Standish. They identify as being from Steep Falls often instead of saying, I'm from Standish. And as a community resource, the library, in my opinion, tends to stand out as a focal point for everything that happens in that section of Standish. The Steep Falls area, the library is the hub of many Steep Falls activities, the Village Association, as well as all the types of things you mentioned at the library, even people using food pantry access, among other things. So could you just speak briefly about how the library embodies something special to that section of Standish, to the people in Steep Falls?
So the library is an institution there. Every week we have people stop in who will say, you know what, when I was a kid, I used to come here all the time after school. But they haven't been to the library since they were a kid and they're 50, 60, 70 years old. And it's a cherished memory. And for them to be able to come back into the library and it, for the most part, to be just like it was when they were there before is so heartwarming for them. The fact that we have kids that we get to watch growing up, you know, they were coming in as little kids and picking out books, and then we need to order teen books for them, and then they're bringing their kids in. So it's not just something that is open and maybe someone will stop in. We see families, generations move through those doors.
I didn't see any information about volunteers. Do you have any volunteer?
We do. All of our Board of Trustees members are volunteers at the library.
I would imagine you may have other volunteers, and I would encourage you in the future to try to keep track of that, to show that it gets not only the community support, but the sweat and tears of people who volunteer there and provide services without direct compensation.
Thank you, Counselor Deacon. Thanks. Quick question. If you were choosing to keep the library historical and go with the more expensive windows, are there historical grants from Maine that you can apply for the library?
That's where we're going to be heading next, is looking at grants to help offset the cost. The Stephen King Foundation has been very generous with us. There's a foundation in Buxton that's also been very generous, and so that's, as we come into the spring, that's what we'll be turning.
Okay. Any questions from Budget Council or Budget Committee? Heidi?
Yes. Have you saved on utilities? I noticed that last year there was a propane expense. Is that just been eliminated or?
No, unfortunately, the utilities have increased because when we added the generator, that's when the propane came in. So we still have oil furnaces, we have propane for when the generator runs, and then the heat pumps run on electric.
And you still buy oil as well?
Yes.
Okay,
Any other questions?
thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Moving on to provider agencies, is there a representative for day one? No representative for day one? Thank you. How about Opportunity Alliance? No representative from Opportunity Alliance? Thank you. Southern Maine Area Agency on Aging. Is there a representative to speak on that organization? My. How about, do we have a rep from Sweetser in the house? Wow. What about Through These Doors? No representative from Through These Doors?
I'm not from the organization, but I'd like to advocate on its behalf. May I do that?
They're absent. That is a requirement to receiving any grant, but I appreciate your enthusiasm, Bob.
May I still advocate?
You can advocate, but they're not qualified this year, so I would just assume, you can have 3 minutes to speak, yeah.
Those who may not know, Standish has had a strong historical association with Through These Doors, advocating on those who are abused. Abuse is one of the highest unreported crimes across the United States. And I would urge the council to consider finding a way to support this organization because of the very high importance of what it does. I'm not sure why the representative is not here, but I can tell you that if there were an organization that needed our support, this certainly would be one that would deserve it because of how it affects children, women, families, and our whole community. Those who are subjected to abuse often go through great trauma and need our help. I would urge the council to find a way to support this organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Lisa, may I make a comment?
Yeah.
So they actually just hired someone and we are working with them. We've partnered with them so that I want to say every Monday they're here. They've also partnered with the food pantry, I think, and they're meeting there as well. So we work weekly with them and they know if they needed a space upon impact, I said I would give up my office. So we are partnering with them.
That's awesome. Okay, moving on to Woodford Family Services. No representative from Woodford? Okay, let's move on to the Saco River Corridor Commission. Wowzer. Did an email get missed? It's very unfortunate because one of the stipulations is you have to be here to present your materials.
But in other years, it's always been announced, a reminder, and it was I just happened to call and the other day.
Yeah, you can't talk without.
Oh, can you come to the podium?
Well, I'll wait till my turn.
Okay, all right.
Thanks.
Standish Active Seniors.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, my name is Barbara Kelly, and on behalf of the Standish Active Seniors, I'd like to express our gratitude for your generous donation last year of $1,000, and thank you for allowing us to participate again this year. We currently have a membership of 98. Unfortunately, we have lost 2 members since my original request. We have stopped promoting for fear of outgrowing our space, but there is such a need for seniors to get involved. They keep coming and we won't turn anyone away. Our goal is to make sure our seniors have a great experience, a warm, delicious meal, great entertainment, and lots of friendship. Meal payments go directly to the Standish Rec Department. We do have a drawing for a free meal, which is paid for out of our 50-50 money. Your donation goes mostly for entertainment. Last year, I mentioned that most of the entertainment was raising their fee to $200. That fee is now the majority. Some charge more, but I negotiated, pleaded, and it seems once they came and performed, they had such a good time, they offered to come back again for our price, so. We still have only paid performers at a maximum of once a month. Some of our other meetings are informational, like our very own members, Dan and Lisa Randall, talk about their beekeeping. Or Dee Safri, she's a veteran and a world traveler, and she's a great storyteller. We have the fabulous Bonnie Eagle Chorus, local businesses like Hannaford, Hospice of Maine and Eco Maine. We have local authors that come and for a small fee, but they bring their books to sell, so they're willing to come. We have games such as bingo, left, right, center, pound game, and silent auction. Our generous local merchants donate gift certificates for our prizes. For games, we charge a small amount to cover other expenses for the cards or the supplies needed to pay. Our silent auction is usually a great success. We sell strips of tickets for a small amount to put in a cup for any item they like, and then we draw the winning ticket. All items are donated by our members. They're either new or lightly used, unwanted gifts or prizes, something you've grown tired of dusting, or just something that no longer brings you joy. Each meeting, our delicious desserts are brought by different volunteers. We also serve coffee, cocoa, and lemonade. We get our coffee cups free from Hannaford. I donated some plastic plate holders so we could use cheaper plates. Occasionally, members will bring extra paper products left over from private events, which help. At this time, we'd like to request your consideration for a donation of $1,500 from your fiscal year 27 budget.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
Are there any questions from the council?
I
Jen?
didn't have that in my packet.
Nor did
I didn't have that in my packet either.
That was received before 2:15.
Error on our part.
Apologize.
No worries, we're good. How about any questions from
Thank you,
budget?
Barbara.
We had nothing in our packet.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, but I'd certainly like to advocate for this.
I have actually helped start it. It's amazing. It's full. It's amazing. I love it. And the seniors really love it. Barbara, you do a great job, truly.
Nice. I'd love to bake for y'all too. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you.
How about, can we hear from Standish Historical Society? How's it going?
A little slowly.
Oh, I feel ya.
Nice to be out and about. A year ago, I stood before you and we were really excited because we just bought a building. And since then, we've been working on that building. Our volunteers have done amazing things. All the while hosting events and carrying on our standard business. Now, excuse me. I lost my train of thought. It's been continuous. We started with a house that was a hoarder's paradise, cleaned it out and proceeded to work on it. As of, I believe today, finished the floors, refinished the floors in all the rooms except for the L, which means we're very close to opening, which is a nice thing. Unfortunately, of course, there's still a lot of work to be done. Major work to going forward is the complete electrical rework. And that's the amount of your request today. We have, we interviewed 3 companies. Best quote was about $48,000. We have received a grant for $20,000 if we can raise the remaining $28,000. And we were hoping that you would help participate to the tune of $10,000. We'd be raising, we'd be, haven't spoken too much in the last
No
last
worries,
2
you're-
weeks.
you're doing good.
No, thanks. We were hoping that you would help us out to the tune of $10,000. We would be using money in our accounts as well as raising the remaining 18 plus.
Excellent, thanks,
That's
Bruce.
in a nutshell.
Awesome.
you.
Are there any, well, can I ask, the grant for 20,000, kudos to you. How much of that 28.7 is left to be raised?
Say about 8. What do you think?
From the 20?
From the 28.7 that you have left to raise?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay, we can get that later too, that's fine.
Yeah, 10. No, I'm not sure I can estimate that right now.
No worries, that's all right. Any other questions from the council? Budget committee? Excellent, thanks, Bruce.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Standish Lions Club. Is there anyone here for Standish Lions Club? Awesome.
Can I actually ask a question? I'm so super curious. Some people didn't know. How did you get notified, or how did you know to come tonight?
Last year, we were told that we need to come
Right,
to.
I know it's on the form, but did you call or you just checked online? I was just curious why.
I looked at your calendar.
I love it, okay. I'm not sure why so many people missed it. I was just curious. Kudos to you, I'm impressed. Thank you. Thanks for coming tonight.
What's your name?
My name is Sherry Beatty.
Sherry Beatty, thank you.
I'm Standish Lions Secretary. And we asked for a donation of $1,500. 500 for helping with our Thanksgiving meals, 500 for Christmas, and then $500 for the tipping fee from our yard sale. Last year, it was almost 500, just under. And we work really, really hard to separate our metals and break down all our cardboard and do everything that way in recycling. We serve anywheres 35 families at Christmas. We deliver an annual Christmas dinner to seniors as well as gifts. And we support an eyeglass program for those that cannot afford, and a hearing aid support as well. Christmas time, we not just do food baskets, but we also do another meal. And toys for the kids. Each year, we've noticed swings up and down as to the number of people that ask. A lot of parents now are asking for clothing. And so we're doing our best to help provide at that time. We also do the Easter baskets and supply bikes for drawings. This year, we're also going to take in, we've gotten paid for some other drawings that would provide an activity for the family. We support Southern Maine Aging. We also give 2 $500 scholarships to Bon Eagle each year. We also charter the Pack 874 Cub Scouts. Our average budget is anywhere from 10,000 to 12,000 a year. If we have any extra money, like in 2022 during COVID, we presented you guys with a $5,000 check for heating for seniors. And we certainly hope that went a long way. So the money that we're asking for is just to help offset some of the things that we do. We also, as Lions internationally, give $1,000 for a disaster anywhere in the world, because that's what Lions is international.
Thank you, Sherry.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Any
That was good.
questions?
Counselor Deacon.
Many Lions clubs, as well as other organizations, will sometimes have wheelchairs or devices for the elderly or mobility impaired. Do you offer those types of services?
Actually, Standish Kiwanis Club handles that. And we help Standish Kiwanis when they need help and vice versa.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Tasha.
I have two. So do you anticipate, I know, and I don't remember who it was, but I was the one that we chatted about picking up the stuff from the yard sale, bringing
Yeah,
it
the
to.
tipping, yes.
Yeah, so do you anticipate doing that again? I think you guys got a dumpster donated and then we helped haul it.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we should make a note of that. John, do you remember what that cost was?
It was about $200, so
Okay.
just.
Oh, I thought it was about 4 this year.
Oh, well.
Last year, actually.
The dumpster, if you.
Someone made a donation too, so it wasn't a full.
I think our cost was 200, so I just so
Yeah.
we're clear.
Yeah, so we just want it to be part of, because we don't want.
We want it to be a part of the donation, so
Yes.
it doesn't come up again.
And anything that doesn't get sold, I go through and collect things that could be reused, pots and pans, dishes.
Yeah, perfect.
And take it
Love
down
We just
to-
wanted to make a note for the transfer station. And then my other thing is one of the families, and I should have shared this and I just thought of it, their child opened a Barbie doll and it was the cutest photo, like the kid had this like, and it was a Barbie. So like really heartwarming to see the residents, just the children enjoying the gift. It's not their fault. They're at where they're at, and really like it almost made me cry. It was the sweetest photo, so I'll try to get it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Where
sharing.
we're going is we have no problem taking the trash, we just want it to be a part of the donation.
Yep. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Any questions from the budget committee? Excellent. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you. And one question, we have a meeting tonight. Am I okay to leave?
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Steep Falls Farmers Market. No one from Steep Falls Farmers Market tonight? Okay. North Gorham Public Library.
Evening. Hi. I wanted to thank you to all the board and the budget committee for all you do for the town of Standish residents and the surrounding communities. My name is Terry White, and I'm the president of the Board of Trustees for the North Gorham Public Library, and I live in Standish. With me here tonight is our part-time library director, Diane Atwood from Gorham. But our library assistant and our storytime leader are both from Standish as well. Thank you for allowing us to present our mission and ask for financial assistance, and thank you for what you gave us last year. Just a part of our mission states that our library is a forum for information and ideas to enlighten all people by presenting all points of view on current and historical issues. We annually hold political presentations where the town council men and women, along with the school board members, get to respond to questions from the public, as well as get a chance to tell them why they should vote for them. In addition to borrowing books, story time for the kids, and book and writers clubs, next month we will start an informational series on dementia that is open to the public. Last year, which June 2024 to June 2025, we spent a little over $23,500. We spent approximately 11% over the previous year. Besides the hourly wages of the library director and library assistant, we have events that we have to cover the cost of, such as author visits, crafts and projects for the children, concerts for the adults and children, the new sign, and more. We currently have 2 fundraisers, one in the spring, the book and plant sale, and one in the winter, the holiday crafts and book fair. This year, we were hoping to add yard sale tables to the book and plant sale. About 33% of our patronage is Standish residents. We're asking the town of Standish to contribute $3,000 to the North Gorham Public Library to help us defray some of the costs. The North Gorham Public Library has been serving our community for over 131 years. And we can serve our community because of valuable volunteers such as Anastasia Shawchuk, Cynthia Fulton, Priscilla Hopkins, Marlene Skoll, Greg Smith, Robin Sanford, Kelly Battaglia, and many more that I'm not listing. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Terry White.
Terry White. Thank you, Terry. Are there any, go ahead.
Terry, so could you tell me how much money you got last year or how much you get from Gorham?
From Gorham, we got $12,000 from Gorham.
And then do you keep track of like Standish residents compared to Gorham residents that use the library?
Yeah, we have about 33% of our patronage, plus I'm the board president, and then we've got the library assistant, and then we've got the lady that does our story time. They're all from Standish.
Just
I'm
mean
not
like
sure.
people that come in and just use it on a daily basis, I guess, like, so you say 33%?
Yeah, 33% of the number.
305, it says on their form.
Yeah.
Residents.
Any other questions, council? Councilor Deacon.
So some people would focus on the obvious. It's called the North Gorham Public Library. You're located on Standish Neck Road. And who has the brick building next to you?
The fire department, you mean? Or the
And
church?
just, could you, I think one of the things that people need to understand is that the fire department isn't just the North Gorham Fire Department. It has a relationship to the town of Standish too, correct?
Yeah, sure.
So oftentimes, North Gorham Fire Department trucks will serve events in Standish. Gorham and Wyndham have a relationship in that way too. This historical thing is something, you mentioned 100 years,
131.
where people from Standish and Gorham have gotten together to say, look, individually, maybe we can't do it, but together, we can do so much more. So Gorham and Standish have gotten together in a variety of ways. Fire department, library services, there are more than that. If you ask the Public Works Department, did you get any equipment from the town of Gorham this year? Yes, you did. It was pretty valuable and useful. That's right. So we need to recognize that although some people would say, well, it's North Gorham Library, it serves the people in Standish, maybe a third of the patrons, but many of the board members, my neighbor Cindy Fullerton is one of the people who work with you.
Sure.
I don't see your number of volunteer hours. I would urge you to list the number of volunteer hours because there's a value in that sweat that people provide. But I think the community needs to understand that although it might be called the North Gorham Public Library, it serves Standish. There's a very strong relationship between our neighbor Gorham and Standish in the fire department, the library, the food pantries. When North Gorham has food that they're not able to use for their pantry, they work with the Standish Food Pantry. So there's this relationship, and then we need to understand that relationship, and I thank you for being part of it.
Thank you for your comments.
Any questions from the Budget Committee? Go ahead.
Do you have an endowment?
No, we don't have
You don't have an endowment?
that. No.
Any other questions? Excellent. Thank you so much, Jerry. Appreciate it. Good packet. Thanks for all the receipts. Last one we have up for tonight is the Old Red Church.
Hi, I'm Eleanor Dudek. I'm the chairperson for the trustees of the Old Red Church. We're in a unique situation that the town owns the Old Red Church and we maintain it. We had a big surprise last year, which went well into this year. We had a severe storm in Northeaster, and it somehow the box where the power and phone go into the church fortunately was ripped out because a huge 35-foot timber that supports as you look at the church, the entire left side was completely rotted through. That ended up costing us almost it did cost us $24,000, and that was something that was completely unexpected. We do not have any type of endowment. There's a hasty fund, which a woman left, and we recently were able to take the interest from that, which wasn't even quite $2,000. The grants that we've applied for in the past have helped with many things. Right now, we're trying to get a grant. The entire steeple and the belfry needs to be replaced, and that's going to be $312,000. The problem we're having is we got turned down for part one of this grant because it's part of a state grant, but because the town owns the building, they just refuse to believe that the town doesn't support us no matter what we provide, and that the town can't really with all the other expenses. So we've now had to retain an attorney so that we can the trustees alone can become a nonprofit. Well, that will make us more eligible, I guess, for this grant. Because we also need to, just like the Steep Falls Library, the Old Red Church is on the National Historic Register, and it needs 26 windows replaced, the sashes, sills, jambs, and all of that is about, it's $39,500 to do all the windows in the church. And we would do them in stages as we obtain grants. We very much appreciate the $20,000 that the town helped us with last year. I mean, it was the first time that we've ever gotten money from the town, and we were just over the moon with that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Eleanor. Any questions from council? Budget committee? Go ahead, Carol.
So the town owns this property?
Apparently, we do.
Yeah.
We're talking to our attorney about selling it for $1.
I was
them.
just,
We're
great
negotiating.
minds think alike.
Yes, we would
I
love
was
that.
just
That would make our lives a lot easier.
Because you could go after grants and raise
Yes,
a lot more money,
exactly.
and then the town could still support.
We have already started conversations about that.
Right.
Okay, that was my
This is not about the Old Red Church was requesting, but I called the other day and spoke with Angela just to confirm, because I looked on the website, I looked on the calendar, I didn't see anything. And right after I hung up, then an announcement came out as a reminder. And I know that Angela has a million things to remember that Mary used to do in her sleep. So I think that honestly is why a lot of people didn't come, because we used to get an email reminder, because we all need a lot of help remembering things. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor.
Heidi, did you have a question?
I was just gonna ask what exactly this year's $20,000, if it's printed, is gonna go for, but is it the windows?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This year's donation would be for the windows specifically,
Well,
or the surprise of the timber that, and the
no,
rock?
the timber, that's all paid.
If it's a long answer, Eleanor, could you come back to the podium,
sorry.
please? Thank you. The mic won't pick you up back there,
Yes,
that's
no,
why.
I understand. That's the, replacing the timber was all paid for out of our money that we saved from the craft fair we put on every year at the Pond Eagle High School. But we would like that to go towards the windows, definitely, and some clapboards that also need to be replaced on the back, and still work on a big grant for the steeple.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's the last organization that we have.
I have something to say,
For
if
the
I
evening.
could, please.
Yep, please.
So actually, I lied, two things. So one of them, just so you know, it is on the calendar, and our form that everyone fills out says that they have to come and they have to attend the meeting to be considered. That being said, the food pantry, we've been having conversations, they missed the deadline. That Scott and I said we didn't really want to make that decision, so if you could come up, and that it's for the council and the budget board to decide, we didn't want to make that decision.
Thank you.
Of course.
And what's your name?
Ben Quarles.
Ben, thank you, Ben.
And good evening, town councilors, budget committee, and citizens of Standish. My name is Ben Quarles, and I am the president of the Standish Food Pantry. I represent over 50 active volunteers, and we are so proud of the work that we do to overcome food insecurity in this community. Please let me start with an apology. We were late in preparing and submitting our request for a donation from the town of Standish this year. For this, I must apologize, and I promise we will not be late again. I understand the importance of policies and procedures and must therefore accept the possibility of moving forward this year without your donation. That being said, 2025 was an exceptional year for the pantry. We are currently feeding over 120 families each week and continue to provide healthy food in a safe and friendly environment. In 2025, we experienced growth in the number of people we serve, and we distributed an average of 26,000 pounds of food every month at a cost of roughly 10 cents a pound. All this with 100% volunteer staff. We are able to accomplish our goals because of the generosity of the local businesses, the citizens of Standish, and the surrounding communities, and especially the support we receive directly from the town of Standish. We are blessed to be here, and we continue to experience the true meaning of Mainers helping Mainers. Standish is growing, and we are poised to grow with you. To the town of Standish and my neighbors and friends, I thank you for your service to this community. You have helped the Standish Food Pantry to grow, and we will be forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. What were you asking for? You're not on the.
7,500.
7,500, thank
That's down from, we had 10,000 last year.
Scott, do you have any of that paperwork? Did we print it or no? Do we give it out?
Didn't,
Okay, okay, yeah.
That being said, per the guidelines, there is a deadline, but in the interest of you being here, are there any questions from the town council? Any questions from budget? Go ahead, Heidi.
Last year, I remember part of the donation, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought was to be something for the parking lot.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, we are in the process of actually going through the bids, asking some questions and selecting the vendor.
Okay.
We'll do that probably within this month. And right now, the spend on that is roughly $33,000. We have that money though, thanks to you, thanks to Good Shepherd Food Bank, and thanks to other benefactors that have donated to the Standish Food Bank. So we're ready to move forward with that. We're also going to move forward with redoing our floors. If you've been in the pantry, you know that our tiles are lifted due to some problems with water in the past. We solved the water problems in the last couple of years, and now we're going to redo the floors with epoxy. That's another $14,000.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other questions? Go ahead, Carol.
I'm a follower of the rules. I totally get that. But I also understand that this gentleman showed up tonight where these other folks did not. The Standish Food Pantry is a huge asset to our community and helps out tremendously for a lot of folks that can't afford things, especially with food costs going up, taxes going up, people being taxed out of their homes, those types of things. So I would ask and recommend that the council set aside that deadline. I know that's asking a lot. It is. because once you do it, you set a precedence, and I totally understand that too. But when it comes to people getting their meds over their groceries or keeping their home over getting their groceries, this is a different kind of need.
Thank you, Carol. Any other? Go ahead, Brandon.
How many Standish residents do you serve?
Standish residents, so we have no restrictions on communities. We'll service anybody that wants to come to the pantry and qualifies to be at the pantry. Right now, when we do our demographics, we're roughly 48% when we combine Standish with Steep Falls. So 48% of the patrons come directly from Standish. And I will also add this, we had our record night tonight. We're growing all the time. 30 minutes before closing, we were at 81 families served. We probably went closer to 90. I don't have the final number yet, but that for us is a record Wednesday. Mondays are usually somewhere between 40 and 50 families.
Go ahead, Tasha.
Do you have other municipalities that give to the pantry?
Not currently. We went to Leamington and asked. We also talked to the supermarket in Leamington. We're working on that, but right now other than the fact that we do receive donations from individuals from other communities,
Sure.
we're not currently receiving donations from the
I'll hit
administration.
up the other managers.
Right, from the other managers, right, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Excellent. Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate you showing up.
Thank you. Take care.
So that was the last one to run through. So that was the last representative to speak. So at this point, presentations are done. So you guys can stay or you can go and whatever you want to do. Do we need a break before we start?
Yeah, we'll take a 5 minute.
We're gonna take a 5-minute break and then we'll come back and we'll iron out the budget portion. Can we get, let's get crack-a-lackin' again, we'll get this wrapped up. So we're going to finish up the donations part, before Heidi takes off, and then we'll go back to, John for that portion of the budget. So that being said, we're gonna run through, unfortunately, everyone. So starting with Oak Hill Cemetery, does anyone have a motion?
Make a motion, we not fund it because they weren't present.
Second.
All in favor? So Oak Hill Cemetery drops to 0. Standish Village Cemetery, they were requesting 5,000. Is Standish Village, remind me, is Standish Village the one that we didn't get? Okay, all right. So would anyone like to make a motion on their $5,000 request?
They were here.
They were here, but we didn't print
have
their
the
packet, it was a staff error.
The packet was received, but it was
Not
misplaced.
printed.
Right, yep, wasn't printed.
So they're not on.
Last year, we donated $37.50.
Mhm.
So I'll make a motion that we fund it at the same as it last year at $37.50.
Second.
All in favor? $37.50. We amend the Standish Village amount to $37.50.
Nope. Sorry.
Richville Library, they requested 2,000.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
do we now need to vote on 56010 as we've amended it?
Oh, I don't know, do we?
Page
Oh,
201.
yes.
Page 201.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion. I make a motion that we approve 56010 Cemetery Associations as amended.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you, Jen. That was for the Oak Hill Cemetery. Do we need to amend for the Standish Village? $37.50 is in there.
We already amended it.
Okay, all right. Up next, the Richville Library, 2,000. Are there any motions?
Make a motion that we, oh wait, I think I need to state a conflict of interest first. I'm the president of the Steep Falls Board of Trustees. I will not be participating in the Steep Falls Library vote. However, if any counselors would like me to abstain from the other 2 library votes, I'm happy to do that.
I don't think that's necessary. I think you're fine. All right, so the Richville Library,
So I would make a motion that we donate $2,000 as requested.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Bob. All in favor? The Steep Falls Library, request for 20,000. Oh, wait, do we want to do the North Gorham Library since it's on the same page?
Point of order, I had raised last year that all the libraries should be put together, and I don't know why North Gorham is separated once again. I would urge that we, in the future, always bring all 3 libraries together, but I would recommend that we take up the library at the same time.
Thank you, Bob.
I do
Scott?
remember that comment, and that's why I moved them with the other libraries. North River is actually on the same page.
Yeah, we
Listed under miscellaneous associations.
we can reorder the list.
It's just
Next
the
year.
list, but in your budget
Yeah.
book, it's listed
It's together in
together.
the budget book.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that being said, we voted on Richville. Let's move down to the North Gorham Library to finish up page 202. You want to do
Steve.
Richville, North Gorham is on the same page as Richville. We want to finish that one
Yeah.
up. So the North Gorham Library for $3,000.
I move to support it for $3,000 as requested.
Is there a second?
Second.
Perfect. All in favor? Three yeses, all opposed? Does that motion fail?
Yeah, we're now going off of, we need 4 for it to move on, to be approved.
Can we have a discussion? Opposition?
I would make a motion that instead of the 3,000, that we bring it to 1,500.
Why is that?
Because they're not in Standish. And I think we are giving away too much money, and rather our money go to other things rather than donations for the town. I'd rather go to operating, et cetera, rather than donations.
I'll just raise as a point of order that the facts support for over 100 years, they are a Standish entity that we share with Gorham. And that the fire department, the food pantries, and all these other things in our relationship with Gorham, that factually to say it's not a part of Standish would be incorrect.
Actually, it's not part of Standish, but I know what you're saying.
Any other comments?
I would say that they are part of they're not part of Standish, but it is a part of what we do, and people go there. But I also think about what I think taxpayers would want to put their money towards, and 3 libraries, especially at $20,000 coming up next, to support 3 libraries, $3,000 is quite a bit of money. And if we can try to save, maybe cut it down to 2,000, I would support something like that. And just trying to cut a little bit where we can for the taxpayers, because I do think that libraries aren't being used as, if you look at the population of Standish, by a huge number of the residents, even though they are being used by Standish residents. That makes sense.
So because it had a vote, I believe the parliamentary process would be to reconsider. And I would move to reconsider the motion. And then once we approve the reconsideration, I would support a proposal, I believe Mr. Garden said $2,000, and then amend it to 2,000, and then have a vote on that.
So you make a motion to reconsider?
I make a motion to reconsider.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. All in favor? Okay, so reconsidered that motion, so you would like to propose 2,000, was it?
Yes.
Second that.
Okay, amendment for 2,000, seconded by Bob. All in favor at 2,000? Done. So North Gorham, 2,000. So do we have to do anything else with that one then?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we move forward this page 6205630 for the amended amount of $4,000 for the Richville Library and the North Gorham Library.
I second that.
$4,000. Richville asked for $2,000.
He combined them.
2,000 plus 2,000 is 4,000.
They were put on
Oh, I see.
Same page.
put together.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Is there a second on that?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Thank you. I might need to slow down a little bit. Good grief, I'm confusing myself. We're back up top at the Steep Falls Library, their request for $20,000.
I move to support the Steep Falls Library for $20,000.
I would second that. They have a lot going on this year. All in favor? Okay,
I'm sorry, what was that, 2?
two yeas, all opposed? And 1 abstention.
So I would ask reconsidering the vote.
Can we have it just, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so if we look at our budget books on page 203, you'll see in FY '22, it was 5,000, FY '23 was 7,500, and then '24 is 10 grand, and it says a note here, FY '25 was a 1-year increase for a generator specifically that they asked for. So I would like to see us bring that back down more in alignment with our other libraries, especially since they are the only one that has an endowment for close to $500,000. I know they don't use that all the time, or they try not to draw a lot out of it, but they do have it there. So my proposal that we have approve it for a $5,000 donation.
They do use that endowment every month.
Every
they
month,
said.
$1,500 a month.
Yep, they
Which I'm
do for
sure
that.
is less than what the interest would be.
So there's a motion to decrease their request to $5,000. Is there a second?
I would ask, would you consider a larger amount, 10,000?
Well, seeing no second, that motion fails. So would you consider?
I would go 7,500.
7,500. I'll second 7,500.
All in favor?
I think we first need to vote to reconsider, and then we have a vote on the amount. So we should.
It failed though, didn't it? Oh.
Yeah, if it fails, I think you can just bring another motion forward.
Yes.
I don't think, because we're still in discussion.
Yeah, the original motion failed, I believe.
Okay, if that's how you wish to do it, I'll go with the chair. Fine.
So you're seconded at 7,500?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor of 7,500, dropping it from 20 to 7,500? Four yays and one abstain.
So then I'll also make a motion that we move the $7,500 on page 6, or for page 620-56040 to the budget committee at $7,500.
Is there a second? Second to move it forward?
Oh, I'll second that. Sorry.
All in favor?
Yes. The headache.
4 yeses, abstention, 1 abstain.
No, I'm only got just tomorrow.
All right, moving on to provider agencies. Day 1, at $600, they were absent.
I'll just make a motion now, since on all the provider agencies, since none of them were present, that we would not fund any of them.
Reduce all to
zero.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Oh, go ahead, Bob.
I'd like to.
We have to finish the motion first.
Oh. You want?
Been motioned and second.
It has been, he did have his hand up when I spoke, sorry.
I'd like to amend the motion to offer a lesser amount for through these doors of $1,000 contingent upon the representative from the organization appearing before the council within the next 30 days.
Okay, I will say that they follow the same rules as everyone else. And if we bend for one, we bend for all. That being said, is there a second to Bob's?
Well, there's a motion on the table right now that we haven't voted on.
Oh, that was just your comment, okay. All right, thanks, Bob. We're following up with the motion to move forward, correct? Reduce all to zero and move forward? Yes. All right, so thank you for your input, Bob. Motion on the floor to zero everything in the provider agencies to zero for not showing up tonight. All in favor? Against? No, that motion passes. Those will all zero out.
So I'll make a motion to follow up with account 620-56050, that we move this provider agencies page to the budget with a 0.
Second.
Motion's been seconded.
Bless
All
you.
in favor? Opposed? Thanks, Bob. 4-1. That motion carries. Miscellaneous associations, Saco River Corridor. We're absent. Is there a motion?
And I'll make that motion to 0 that.
Any seconds?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Standish Active Seniors.
Make a motion, move that forward to the $1,500.
Quick question, we didn't have them in our packet.
As our mistake.
Okay, that one, okay.
They were in on time.
All right, thank you. Sorry, okay. All in favor to move active seniors forward at 1,500? Unanimous? Standish Historical Society, request $10,000. Are there any motions?
I'll make a motion to reduce that to $3,000 for this year. Which is the same that we donated last year.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Oops.
Again,
I was in favor, sorry, I was looking through my.
3 in favor, 4 in favor? Okay, and I'm opposed. They dropped Standish Historical down to 3,000. Standish Lions Club?
Can I make a
Oh, go ahead.
suggestion? The next one is Standish Snow Seekers.
Oh, thank you.
And at this point, we haven't received the money from the state, so I didn't put an amount in there, but we should put an amount in so that we can pass that money on. What we do is we take the money in from the state and pass it on to the Snow Seekers Club.
Okay.
In the past, we've done 3,700. 2 years ago, we only received $3,000, so I think you could lower that.
Okay.
3,300.
Okay. All right, so we're looking for a motion to adjust the Standish Snow Seekers.
I'll make a motion to adjust the Standish Snow Seekers to 3,300, and that is just a pass-through.
Yep.
I'll second it, so.
Excellent, all in favor? Passing that through, unanimous. Thanks, Scott. The Standish Lion, did we do the Standish Lions Club?
Nope.
1,500?
That's where we're at.
Okay, good. A motion on Standish Lions Club? For $1,500?
I move to support the Standish Lion Club for 1,500.
I will second that. All in favor? Unanimous? And Steep Falls Farmers Market was absent.
Lisa, can I just make a statement? If they, or what's your recommendation, if they have $300 worth of trash that they don't want to bring to the transfer station, are we gonna say the 1,500 is part of that, or do you wanna bring it to 1,800?
Didn't John say it was gonna be part of it or not?
Well, that's why I
Just
want
seeking
that.
clarification.
I want
Oh, okay.
clarification on that, so we know.
I'm okay with that. Last year it was 0, and so we can just say,
So essentially it's $1,000 donation, $500 in kind for the transfer station.
okay,
Some.
yeah,
Yep,
perfect.
that works. We'll do that.
Do we
We'll
need,
just-
can I make a motion to reconsider the Standish Lions?
Yep, second. All in favor of reconsidering?
Can I make a new motion? Yes. We reduced the cash portion of the Standish Lions donation to $1,000, and we provide a $500 in-kind use of the transfer station.
I'll second that.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All in favor? Unanimous?
Now, will that come next year written that way, so we moving forward?
We can.
I think the staff can definitely work with them to.
Yeah, 100%. We just wanted to be clear about it.
Right, that way it's,
Yeah,
during the
record.
packet, it's all
Yep.
clear that way, so.
Excellent. Steep Falls Farmers Market, they were absent tonight. Is there a motion?
Get a motion to zero it out.
Second. All in favor? Unanimous? And the Old Red Church, last but not least, they had requested 20 grand. Is there a motion? Go ahead.
Can you tell us where we're at with more detail with actually?
So
the process
part of the
selling
grant
it?
that they wanted, it's because you can't mix private, public and private money because we own it, we can't give ourselves it. Zach, John, do you know where we're at with Zach? I know that we did have a conversation with the attorney, Angela, do you remember? Someone was in my office that day. I know that we've started conversations, like the town doesn't do anything with it. I mean, we help with it, we look for grants for it, but it's not like we, can rent out something and
I think we insure it, and.
yeah, we do.
And the recommendation from the attorney was to make them
take it, yeah.
But I don't know where they're at.
Well, it's a lot, it needs a lot of work for our insurance agent, like they almost didn't wanna cover it.
I think
But,
they need to, the 501c3.
and that's why they have a lawyer and to helping them with that process. So, we're close to getting it for them, and staff continue to look for grants for them. But I don't know I can check with the attorney, but I don't know where we're at.
You said
We're-
something
we're gonna
about
sell it for
donate,
$1.
we can't, right, but we can't.
So there, you can't mix public and private funds. We own it, but they have a trustee about it. So the grant that we were applying for, there was too many, like, it wasn't clean of who manages the money.
But if we donate 20,000, isn't that basically donate it to ourselves, or is that not?
This is just a town donation. It's not it was a grant, a state grant, or was it state or federal? There were just rules about it and we didn't qualify.
For the grant part.
Yeah.
But if we own it and then we're
Paying ourselves.
20,000 to ourselves, we can do that?
We can do that. The issue was, we can't take federal money
and put it
in a form of a grant. Because of that. But we can give ourselves, we can donate money to.
Because the town doesn't manage it per se. We
The
own
board
it,
of trustees, yeah,
don't.
like a lease. But we are looking to give it to them for $1, and as soon as they're done that process, we will advance it. So I don't
And
know,
that would help them get grants and.
absolutely, much more,
So that
yes.
would be very beneficial for
Yes.
them, just so everybody knows.
So the 20,000 is really just to pay that organization to take care of the church right now, for us.
Well, yeah, they said they want new windows on it, so in essence, we would, yeah, or, yeah, I can.
Any other comments, or is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we fund it at $10,000.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Opposed? That was the last of the organizations for the budget donation portion.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Can I be heard on the Standish Food Pantry? Because technically they would have been part of, they're on this page.
Yes, you can be heard.
While I do agree that they shouldn't be funded as part of the donation request because they did not submit their paperwork on time, it has been an agency that the town has always supported. They did appear this evening, so my recommendation to council would be we do not fund them as part of the donation night, but that we, when we consider our town council budget, that we consider donating part of our contingency fund to them.
What do we have left in contingency?
I think you have all of it.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the town council, that part of the budget yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
15,000 budget.
15, okay.
Okay.
All right. Do we have to do anything on that, or?
We can wait till then.
We can do it, we can address it at the operating.
I think you did spend
Was that a
chairs out
motion?
of it.
Did you make a motion?
I was just.
We were just discussing.
Yeah, we were discussing, it's not in our budget, but I just wanted to put it, just to put a piece on the record about them presenting and my feelings of it, and that we can continue the discussion if we're not going to fund it, which we're probably not here.
Right.
When we talk about our contingency.
All right, so when we get to the town council section, it will come
It'll
up
be
again.
our Saturday meeting probably.
Okay,
I recuse myself from those deliberations.
all right. So, that being said, that was the last of the official organizations tonight, so the donation section is done.
Do we need to push through 56070 as a whole?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we push that forward to the budget as amended.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. Excellent. Okay. So that part's done, right? The donations are done? So now we're gonna move forward with the other new business?
Yep, we're doing a continued review of the operating budget.
Okay. And we are going to, what page is he on? 133? Page 133, Public Works.
Good evening, everybody. I'm gonna start with Public Works operational budget for you, but I think some important things are to come out in ways that Public Works, I'm coming up on my 3rd year anniversary in 2 days and starting my 4th year on, over the 3 years on ways that we've been working on saving money for the town, just to get out there so everybody can hear it. Within my 3 years, I've developed a great relationship with the surrounding towns in Gorham. As Councilor Deacon mentioned, that we had a hot box, which people don't, that's used for filling potholes and stuff like that. To that, it's 14 years old, but we didn't have a hot box. They offered it to us for nothing to use. We just maintain it and give it back when we're done with it. So that is a $75,000 cost savings. They also gave us a hay chopper because our hay chopper was not operational. Again, we are just maintaining it. When we're done with it, we're giving it back to them.
What was that last one?
A hay chopper, so it provides mulch, like in a ditch, so stops erosion, stuff like that. This is all equipment that they were gonna go auction off, but they said, you know, you're helping, we're providing some training for them, doing other things, so we're working together. Obviously, limited budgets, one mission to get the job done. 2 years ago, I got 2 free trucks from Cumberland County that were general in their fleet, not that town had purchased or anything like that. That was a 2013 and a 2004 with very low mileage, like 30,000 miles. We bought a lift tailgate used for it to put on that truck because the back body was bad. And that ultimately saved us in worker comps claims because instead of lifting heavy plate compactors, lifting deer, I'm just saying it's a cost savings for the town by doing that. We got a free sedan from the county that's used by town hall employees. We had a vehicle total last year. We bought a used vehicle to replace that. We didn't ask for anything new. We actually went down south to pick it up so it was rust-free. Another one with a lift tailgate to save on worker comps claims type of deal with that. We became a federal in-house training facility for commercial driver's license in my time. So meaning when we hire new drivers, because the field of people having commercial drivers drastically changed with federal standards being put in place and training that's mandated by the federal administration. So we became, and we can train any town employee, but we also have to do some online training, which covers the federal, but we can do the in-house course. We can do, and obviously driver training through that. It's a $5,000 cost saving per if we were to have to send them out for that. Our lunchroom furniture got free for when they bought I believe it's the Northgate building at Cumberland County. We took chairs, we took tables because we didn't have big enough area. We don't have a big enough area, but we didn't have enough table space for that. We're doing in-house training, as I mentioned. We're also attending trainings to keep up with the highest ways. There's 3 of us getting our road scholars this year. That teaches us the most up-to-date practices to cut down on erosion and maintenance to help in cost savings. The bottle trailer at the transfer station. Somebody used to come to the transfer station and pick up the bottles in the corner. I don't remember if you remember that big pile that was always stacked in the corner over there. Our revenue, not meaning it goes to the town, it goes for heating fuel assistance for the town. Used to be like $1,200 a year. This year we're already at over $5,000. By just more control, we take the bottles to a different location. We know what's going in and out type of deal by that. We had a donation of a high pressure water from a resident, a high pressure water pump to clean culverts. It's a $3,000 value. A $200,000 in-stream grant, meaning to cut down when we replace the River Road culvert right there, $200,000 in that. We're sharing equipment with other departments such as the rec tractor, doing a flail mower. One of the biggest savings probably to the town that we've also done is when we took over the 50 miles of winter maintenance for the private roads with public easements and then the other town roads that the contractors were doing. If we were having to pay that right now, that'd probably be well over $600,000 for that. And again, one of the other big one is that we took over all maintenance at the Public Works Garage for town-owned vehicles, except for the fire department, the rec department, town hall vehicles, codes, assessing, all that maintenance is done there. So just ways that we're working on reducing costs for the town and doing the best we can with our budgets. I would like to start right away with a reduction. I believe Scott provided everybody with a salary updated page. And if you compare the two from what was originally presented, it's $55,074. What happened is that there was a facilities position added and it got counted into my budget, but didn't belong in my budget. So when we took that position out, there's the updated page should show $1,197,946. And I guess Scott can answer questions if you got questions about it, because he does this page, but that's the gist of, there was a little bit confusion of where that facility person was going, but he goes to a different budget, not mine. So again, from the original page, it showed $1,253,020 to $1,197,946, a savings of $55,074. The rest of the increases in that line are determined by COLA and salary wage survey for that, done by Scott. Phones remain the same. Travel expenses remain the same. I'm just gonna go page by page if everybody's good with that. Our first changes would be in our maintenance line. I provided, I'm assuming everybody has the copy of my notes to what the increase is. I can summarize it. Plow cutting edges, we use carbide cutting edges. They're 1 foot sections. Carbide's gone up drastically over the year. We're paying $217 per 1 foot section, which 8 plow trucks, not including the spare, I didn't count the spare in that, is $19,200. I included $800 for bolts and other materials to attach that. Sometimes cover platings have to go in that. One of the kits alone, if you were to buy the whole kit as a replacement with the cover, is $3,700, but we just don't need a whole kit every time, but the 1 foot sections for that. The math is broken out. I also, for the wings, carbide has gone up with the coverings. With that, the price per foot, the 4 CVs, I broke that out. When I say the CVs are those 2-ton trucks. They're broken out. There's a difference. They are not carbide, they are steel, because a lot of them are used on dirt roads versus the tar roads. We don't need as good as cutting edges for that. And then the 4 pickup trucks for a total of cutting edges should be $35,400. Sweeper and brooms, masking increase from $2,000 to $2,500. So 1 main broom, which is in the center of the machine, and 2 sets of gutter brooms, usually last 1 main broom, is a little over $1,200 for our sweeper. So we usually go through 2 sets of that to complete the town sweeping for the year. So I'm asking an increase to $2,500 for that. Vehicle inspections was removed because we were doing them in-house. Windshield replacements, if you look at the sand pile one, it goes with the operating. If you look back at a couple pictures in there, I showed you just like how the trucks get covered in sand from plowing. The windshields get scratched and creates glare, problem visibility type of deal in that. So that's why I showed that. So last year we replaced 12 windshields. I'm projecting 8 hopefully this year. The increase is also costs. It's $500 to $600 per windshield to get that replaced. Miscellaneous in-house repairs, I'm requesting an increase to $90,000, but I'm requesting a decrease in out of town, meaning stuff that we ship out to repair by $10,000. So it's a net increase of only $10,000 for that, because as I said, we're doing more of the work in-house. Meaning we still have to ship some things out, like sometimes hydraulic cylinders have to be cleaned up. Something like that that we don't do in-house, that's a specialty type thing. and filters increase. Again, it's just increase from parts from 4,000 to 4,500. I'd like to note in FY '25, we spent 223. This total increase is 23,550, which puts me at 217, which is still less than what we spent in FY '25, but sometimes repairs we just can't control. I would like to just say this, like, we just got a quote on our sweeping machine for brake replacement today, $6,000. I would never, very, very expensive. Would you like to go page by questions or come back?
Can we come back?
Yep.
Yeah. Megan, keep note of your questions and we'll catch them all at the end.
Okay.
Thanks, John.
Contractual is the next. I would like to make a note, it's not on here. I just called for your guidelines who we used for that, or they called, saying that there's gonna be a price increase. So from 56,000 to 58, that is not in your book. I'm requesting that amendment. That is for all the line striping in town, white lines, double yellow, passing zones of that nature. It is not in the notes section, but just an increase that we were made aware of. Catch basin cleaning, there's an increase in the daily rate. So we do 4 days of catch basin cleaning, $2,100 a day. Engineering is the next question, and I have questions for you guys on the engineering. There's a transfer station study that I was asked about putting together with the future growth. What's next for the transfer station? That cost is approximately $45,000. But that was prior to knowing about the building getting pushed off. So my question is, do we want to continue with the transfer station study and with the building? So I'm proposing, which either at the council meeting or here, is as of July 1, once a new council is seated, to come up with a committee, either the transportation committee, which I feel is the best suited for this, and 2 members or from the budget committee to continue to look at the public works building. I feel it's best to wait till July, till new members are there, to go through the complete budget process instead of us starting right now and then possibly committees changing after July. Do I think there's some money needed? But we also need some money for projects that don't come up. Strout Brook, so what was paid for out of this year's engineering money was Strout Brook, a town hall, propane tank stuff. It affects our stormwater permitting, so they have to reapply to all of that. And then Public Works money had to come out of that. As of February, when I wrote this, we had $10,000, I believe. Let me check my notes here. We had $10,000 left in that. And it should be noted in the reserve fund that there is earmarked for Moulton's Hill, but we're waiting on the state to determine what that. So if you look at the cost, we had $75,500 in reserves, take away the $30,000 that was earmarked, leaves us $45,000 in reserves in that reserve account. So I know I'm throwing a bunch of numbers at you, but if we are going to do both projects, transfer station and public works, I would recommend an increase beyond the 75 to 85. If we are going not to do the transfer station and just do public works, I would recommend a decrease to 65. I don't know if there's something you want to have a conversation on now or move on.
Let's move on and come back to this page because there's more than one amendment on it. So
again, this has been very fluent since we put this all together. So for that, the alarm for the building is increased from 400 to 450 through our alarm services. And the iWorks, so we added a fleet module. So we're now tracking all costs for every vehicle in that. So the fleet module will provide us when we go to do a replacement cost, what have we spent on that vehicle and what are the repairs that have done. We've never had that before. It's in addition to the iWork, so it's an increase from 7,000 to 9,500. Moving on. The training budget. I asked for an increase of $500. I'm currently over. I actually printed today's up to date for that. Like I said, we have multiple people going to get their road scholars. We have 2 people had to get their licenses this past year. So we have to pay for the federal training through an outside website for that we can't do, but it's part of the training they have to do to complete to be able to take their road tests. So I'm now asking for an increase. I have 2 projected retirements coming up. So that's why also the increase for training. Equipment rental is the same. Streetlights, I'm requesting an increase from 3,000 to 5,000 in pricing. Our lights are getting older and there's more burnout time for the maintenance of them. So we're talking streetlights that light up intersections at this time. They have a life expectancy. They were done, a lot were done to LED back around, I believe 2019. And we're having more burnouts. So we have to obviously pay to have them replaced when they hit the burnout life. There was 8 fixtures. That item was deleted. I provided you a letter from our electrician. I don't know if anybody noticed last year, we had to shut off some of the holiday lights by Standish House of Pizza in that area. There's a letter here of why they don't meet code, and I requested the $8,000 to fix what he's recommending from that. And so there was been 2 crashes on the area of Cape Road, on the lower section of Cape Road on the sharp corner, sort of by the Brooks's residence in there, to put a street light up there. There's not a street light to help mark the inside of the radius of the curve to be able to light it up, so it's not a causation for the crashes in that area. Next page is traffic lights. We are out of warranty at the intersection down here now, so I requested a service call as at a minimum $500. If there's an issue type of deal, by the time they come, I can do that. So I requested a $1,000 increase for that. Tree removal, we removed the arborist gear. We still try to do as much tree removal as we can in-house, but if anybody were to add anything in one section, this is one section I recommend. The emerald ash borer is killing all of our ash trees. Anything in the right of way that's obviously a traffic safety hazard, we have to remove it. We do all the cleanup ourselves, but sometimes we need a larger bucket truck, which just pays for, and the arborist has to climb trees and take it down. He doesn't bring a crew, he just brings his truck and him. We provide all the traffic and do that, so. Crack sealing is the same. The snow contracting is still in there, but that is zeros. And since this budget was put together, fuel I am the largest fuel consumption person in the town. Northeast fuel index Scott uses that was done prior to what's going on overseas. I can tell you that we currently just paid, I think one load was over $5 a gallon for that. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but if you look at diesel's estimated at $3.40, it's nowhere close to what we're currently paying. So I don't know if that's something that as a whole in the council that you'd like to see an increase or take our chances, and if it goes over, it goes over, but I gotta get my next page. Tools, I requested a deduction by $1,000. This is used stuff breaks throughout the course of the year. I mean, obviously it could be a compactor, shovels, rakes, just some stuff breaks and we gotta replace it, drills. It's just used in that section. I did request a $1,000 reduction. Other commodities, guardrail repair, I requested an increase from 3,000 to 4,000. If we don't get a crash report, we can't go after the people that damaged the guardrail. So hopefully we get a crash report, meaning we ask for a crash report, but not all crashes get reported and people, run away from that. So to fix that, we've used the guardrail money in the past for Musselman Road. We used it at the Overlook to put up other guardrail and fencing over there for that. Building supplies, just the cost of cleaning supplies, paper towels, increase to $500. Personal gear, which requires like cutting helmets, gloves, ear protection, requested an increase from 2,500 to 3,000. Everything's getting more expensive. A meal allowance, so I included the part-timers in that because I feel that if they're out there for the same storms, we're at 40 storms. We budget for 10 storms. Those are usually long duration storms that we provide meal allowances for. But right now we're currently at 40 times that we've been out for the year for in between winter maintenance, cleanup, refreezes, snow and ice removal. And marking pavement, so that is different than the contractual because we will do the intersection, so we paint the arrows, stop bars ourselves in that, but the cost of the paint has gone up, just the same reason why he went up in his price type of deal, so I requested an increase there for that. Culverts and catch basins remain the same. This is used for when steel culverts are usually in driveway crossings or get rusted out, need replacement of that, various lengths for that. Patch remain the same. Winter sand. The previous 2 winters, we were down in our sand usage, so we cut back by some of the council comments last year and only budgeted for 4,500 yards of sand. I sent you a picture. That picture was taken March 2nd. We've obviously used sand from that. That's the front page of the that to see how much sand we have left. I'd say we have less than 1,000 yards of winter sand left in that. The building can hold approximately 7,000 yards. So what I'm asking to do is I will get as much as I can out of this year's budget, but I don't have enough because it's only budgeted for 4,500. I will order some again as soon as July comes out of the following year's budget to do that. Hopefully average it back out to 5,500 yards because that's what we originally were budgeting for that. Salt, liquid calcium, I'm estimating $84 a ton. The COG bid does not come out until June, so we estimated last year we were a little short on our estimation is 79.63. I think we estimated 78 last year. Again, it's still for the same amount of tonnage. We currently are have in place, I wouldn't say use because we still have it in the building, but of this year, we've used almost 1,950 yards out. So, but with the building, we've used our maximum amount of funds with what's in the building currently. We're actually over by $5,000 in this year's budget. Street signs, I requested an increase from 8,000 to 8,500. So that's speed limit signs, any new development, we have to provide the name, street light signs, street signs going up, slow children playing signs, stop signs, any type of signs that go for that. Requested an increase for that. New equipment. So I provided you pictures of our current Challenger tractor and the mower head. It currently has a bush hog mower head on it that spins. It's been modified a few times prior to me, and it keeps breaking bolts and has broken the housing of that mower. So I'm asking for a replacement of a grinder head mower. It is more expensive than the bush hog by $7,000. I think Tasha can tell you, one of our number one complaints is about
You did
road.
mowed side rowing and it looks like crap.
I'm one of those complainants.
So for
And-
$7,000, we can have a new one. a
You
better
know
one.
what? And when they go along the side of the road and they mow it with the broken ones, it also cuts off like the saplings and it leaves them really, really sharp like a spear.
And
And
it
if
splinters
somebody
them.
were to fall on that,
So that's why I'm asking for a mulcher head to do a better job to hopefully limit the complaints. And for that, it is different than the flail mower that we bought last year. That goes on a 3-point hitch, more designed for grass than the mulcher head. The mulcher head still does grass, but this has the arm that reaches behind the guardrails for that to be able to do that function. And, you know, obviously side banks, stuff that you can't get a 3-point hitch type tractor on. And that is my operating budget.
Excellent. Any questions or discussion?
I had a, sorry. Since we're right on the back here, we just talked about the road signs. I was just curious, seeing that you mentioned a lot of the new road signs had to be in the new developments going on. Is that something that we could maybe put towards impact fees, since it's only for the new, at least the ones that are only for the new?
I don't believe it could be considered an capital expense. It's per ordinance that we currently have to provide them. My recommendation is if you didn't want to provide it for new developments, to change the ordinance saying that, that the new developers had to provide that.
I like options.
All right, other discussions? Yes, Bob?
Other than public safety, probably recreation has some, but you use a lot of vehicles that use gas, fuel. And maybe prices were coming down last year a little bit, and now they're heading in another direction. Nobody has an exact crystal ball, but how is this going to affect your budget in terms of fuel costs?
Well, this is where I'm unsure of. We use the Northeast Fuel Estimated Consumer Index. Scott does the fuel estimation, but I'm concerned about what the current price is and what we're paying for that. Obviously, it's gonna make us overspend. We're currently overspent by 125% of the budget's been spent already right now for where we're at. For that, so some things that I am looking at also, I probably should have added this to my cost saving is tomorrow I have, the recreational director and I have a meeting with Enterprise about fleet leasing, which might provide us other ways of fuel saving by vehicles that they're doing. So the town wouldn't own the vehicle, but I'm waiting to hear the presentations to see if it is a cost savings that we would lease the vehicles, and within that timeline, it would save us on maintenance. Obviously, be most up to date on fuel reduction. I mean, we're running old vehicles that have 8 cylinders and stuff like that, that can we go to an EcoBoost? Can we do other things to cut back on fuel savings, you know, run different ways to do that with electricity and stuff. They provide the vehicle. Like I said, I don't have all the details of it yet, but we're having a meeting tomorrow on it about fleet leasing. It might be something that will be a workshop for you if it seems like it's gonna save money for the town. I don't have those answers yet.
I will point out that I thank you for thinking out of the box to look for creative ways to try to save money other than just cutting use of the vehicles. You're looking for new solutions to problems, and I thank you for that.
Agreed. Other comments? As far as, Jen?
On the mulcher head, how old is the bush hog head?
It's a 2006.
And what is the lifespan of the new equipment being proposed?
So Obviously, I'm assuming this mulcher head was the original with the tractor, so I assume they knew that. Probably the tractor will wear out before that. The tractor is in the capital for FY '29 to be replaced, but I would push that out at least 8 to 10 years unless there's a major defect with the tractor coming up for that. I mean, the tractor itself is 2006, but it's still operational, still works, not having an issue. We're having an issue with the mower head, and it's cheaper to spend $22,000 than a $250,000 replacement.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
For jumping around a little bit to the engineering services, I wanted to talk about that. That's page 139. So right now, you said if we do both the transfer station and public works, you recommend 85. If we just did 165.
Or if you're not keep with the transfer station study, because it's 45,000, I would recommend a $10,000 increase to 75. If you choose to go and not do the transfer station, the public works will be a lot less, so I would recommend a reduction of 65.
So I guess my question for you
265, not
is, we're being open 6 days a week now at the transfer station. How do you think that flow has been? I don't go to the transfer station often because I have my own personal dumpster, so I'm out of the loop a little bit. How do you think that's working, and is there a need for it?
Person that I have talked to says that's one of the best things that I've done for that. So, but my theory is this is a answer to I fixed the short-term problem, but I didn't fix the long-term problem, because again, we will max out at some time of too much traffic. So we took from 2,000 cars on a busiest day to 1,400, so a reduction of 600 cars, which is huge in that aspect of it. It creates less backup at the lines, frustration, backups in the hopper, meaning the bridging going on, stuff like that, because when they do a trailer change, obviously you can't compact it anymore. And it's just, it's spread it out, so it's worked, but with all the building going on, at some point that's gonna change.
You also mentioned a lot during the capital, you talked about doing a scale house.
Correct.
To help with the tipping fees. Would that be part of the engineering cost in that plan?
Correct. So the idea is if they would look at the current lot, they would also look at that other lot that was looked at for public works type of deal. What is the best solution for the town? So right now, we dispose of everything by the ton. We pay by the ton, but we charge people by the yard because we don't have a scale house. If you go to like Riverside or any place like that, you have a scale house going in. Casco, bulky waste up there in Naples, they have a scale house. It's more consistency, but the idea is if the transfer station's gonna stay at its current lot, we're out of impervious area down there, we'd have to repurpose some of the current public works area to be able to accomplish some of those goals.
So with all that being said, I think part of the goal of putting off the building was to have a more comprehensive plan of what we need for all the town properties. So I think to increase this by another $10,000 to 85, so we can look at engineering for all that combined, might be a short, easy money, so we can have all the information that we were asking for, instead of piecing everything together.
I did get a rough estimate on that. If you're looking for all town, including fire department, recreation, they said that was $70,000.
Would that go under your engineering, or would that be under the fire department? How does that work at a?
Well, right now, my engineering currently pays for projects everywhere, except for like, the fire department has a specialized thing about going up. They're paying for that. I'm not sure what funds it's coming from, but they're paying for that. But like the building of getting propane tanks here, I'm paying for that. You see what I'm saying? It's just not public works related. It's sort of, we need engineering money. I get an engineering line.
Also on that same page, you had said that the street lining, the markings had gone up $2,000.
Yep.
So we'll need to add that amendment as well.
Correct.
So they're going 58 instead of 56?
58 is the correct number.
So I guess I'll make them.
Before we do that,
Yeah.
Any other questions on that particular page 139? As far as, because we're gonna make the two amendments?
I guess my one question before we move forward is, does the council and the budget committee want to see a complete plan? Or is that something you want the committee to decide, a transportation of all town?
So if we did, you said, so that would be 70, so there'd be
So-
155?
Well, this is where we come back to, I need some operational money, because how it currently works is a developer comes in, the town fronts the money, they put up money though, and we get budget adjustments. So I need some operating money. I guess if you were gonna do that, I would ask for 100. I think I can do it for 100, and we always has the reserve account if you wanted that study of the 70.
You're talking 100 for everything?
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be the.
And with the idea of, is if we need more money, there's a reserve account of 45,000 is there.
Okay.
And that has to go through council approval. That just can't be me asking for it, correct, Scott?
And that would give us a plan of what the entire town needs, the whole scope project. Okay.
That was the engineer.
And I just asked that question Monday, just so you're aware, based on the comments from the budget meeting. So it's not, I don't really think that I was holding out on any number or anything, because that was some of the comments that I picked up on from that. So I just literally got that number Monday.
Yes, Carol.
So you would add 25,000 to this number right here. I think that's the smartest thing the council could do for the town, because then we have a general idea where we're going, what we're doing. Doing this piecemeal is not working, obviously, and I think we're seeing that.
Any more comments on, go ahead, Bob.
I have one. I'd just like to revisit fuel.
Bob, can, just for a moment, can we stick to page 139? We can revisit fuel in a minute. Thank you. So on page 139, is there a motion to amend the street linings to 58,000 and the engineering services to 100,000?
Yeah, make that motion.
Second it.
Excellent. All in favor on that amendment? Unanimous? So that changes that particular line item to 180,850?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, that's you.
All right, Bob, you said you had a question?
Just as a comment, as you're looking at fuel, that you consider our over 100-year relationship with Quorum, for example, our libraries, our public safety equipment, firefighting, and other ways that we work with Quorum or other communities, and see if there's a way to potentially leverage the amount that we spend on fuel and they spend on fuel, and by combining them together, maybe we can get a better discount.
So we normally do the COG bid when we would have had those results for that, but they pushed the COG bid out. The results were already supposed to be out.
90 days until we hear back.
And because of what's going on overseas, they didn't want to have a bid at the really high price. So that is just, we are doing group communicative.
You are exploring other ways to leverage.
You're right, so.
In 90 days, we'll find out what
That's
the
the
bid
Portland
is.
Greater Alliance of a Council or
Council of Government.
Government.
Okay.
So it's all multiple communities asking for a fuel bid for that. But they pushed, the bid was supposed to be done, I think, the end of February, Scott, and they pushed it out, or whenever after the war. I don't remember when, or
90
started.
days, we'll
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
That being said, you also said you're currently at 125% of your current fuel budget, so we're already overspending. Do we need to pad this a little bit? I know in the instant future, you can't.
Scott looks at the fuel thing. I mean, right now, the way I did the number budgeting for what I have left in operating. I have, I believe, 319.
Part of the issue was we under budgeted the gallons. So in this budget, we increased the gallons for diesel to account for that.
You increased it?
Yes. Okay. Of course, the prices were before the war, so.
So right now I have $512,000 left in my operating budget. About 280 of it will have to go to salaries with what's left of warrants. If you look at currently what we're at, where we should be, we're at warrant 20. So meaning we usually have 27 warrants, 26 warrants, but you take the last warrant because you have to pay salaries out of the time in the first year. in that, and it comes back out. So if you figure that out, we're at 74% is where we should be at. My current operating budget is at 74%. I'm hoping that we stay in budget, but if you take the 280 from that and the other major bills, I figured in my head I have about $119,000 of operating money, taking out the sand that we currently have to have left. So just so I'm looking at a number saying, I need to stay within this to hopefully stay in budget.
Thank you. So what do we want to do for the fuel? Is if we budget it where it's at right now, the chance is really high that we're gonna go over budget, correct? Yes. So, that being said, do we want to increase the fuel budget a little bit?
You already helped a little bit by increasing the amount of mileage you budgeted for, correct? How much under budget was the mileage?
4,000 to 5,000 gallons, I think it was. Is that right, Scott?
I think so.
It's a little over 20,000. I think it was 16 something that they budgeted for.
Are there any other questions from anyone in the public works section?
Yeah, I got a question on the cost of living adjustment. That's, my understanding is that's set at 3.5%.
Yep.
And my question is, where's the justification given that Social Security cost of living adjustments 2.8% and the state of Maine is 2.7%?
We worked with GP cog to see what the counties were giving, and that was, it actually came back at 4%, what all communities were doing.
So it's based on the county?
Yes, that's where we got it. We said 4 was a lot, but we decided on 3.5. I mean, you can change it, but that's what most of the 4% was the communities around us. That's what they came in at.
We also use Maine Municipal Salary Survey type of deal. Scott can speak to that. I mean, it compares communities type of deal to, I mean, if we go behind, we start losing employees too. You know what I'm saying? We try to be middle. We don't try to be overpaid. We try to be right in the middle.
Yeah, it's just an apple and an orange, but yes, we look at each particular position and we grade them against other communities our size, and if they're lower, we could bring them up 5%. So some people within the budgets are getting a 5%.
Well, I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, so cool, yep,
Living
yep,
adjustment,
that's
which
it,
is
that's
across the
why.
board.
Yep, that was why.
All right, Carol?
So you mentioned at the beginning, there was a new salary page.
I believe Scott provided it.
Yeah, I provided it the first meeting.
Okay, so this is the new one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions for Public Works? If not, is there a motion?
Page by page.
Yeah.
I move, so I'm looking at page 135, which is account number 510. I would make a motion to move that forward as presented.
Is there a second? I'll second. All in favor? Unanimous?
Just keep going?
Yeah, go ahead, Jen, thanks.
You're doing great.
Page 136, account number 52020. I make a motion to move that forward as proposed.
I'll second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page 137, 52030. Make a motion to move that forward as proposed.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page 138, account number 52070. I make a motion to move that forward as proposed.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page 139, account number 52090. I make a motion to move that forward as amended.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page 140, account number 52100, I make a motion to move that ahead as proposed.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page 141, account number 52120, I make a motion to move that ahead as proposed.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page 142, account number 52130, I make a motion to move that ahead as proposed.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Page number 143, account number 52140, I make a motion to move that ahead as proposed.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Unanimous?
Can I just bulk the rest of them together?
Yeah, there's no more amendments.
Okay. Page numbers 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153, 154, and 155. I propose we move those ahead as proposed.
Second that.
All in favor? Unanimous?
John, add to your list, make mention too, we got a grant for all the school zone. Every school in this town has school zone lights, and we got those through a grant, so thank you for that. And the town does maintain those, so safer, appreciate that, help with that, John.
Thanks. All right, solid waste?
Solid waste, again, salary and surveys is done by Scott.
I'm gonna interrupt real quick, I'm sorry. Do you guys prefer to go through the whole section and then ask questions, or do you wanna go page by page? Does it matter? Okay, go ahead, we're gonna go through all of it then.
Again, the salary section's done by Scott and based off the wage and stuff with the cost of COLA in there. Utilities, I requested a reduction. We are under budget for this one. We got the new compactor, saving on electricity, old rotophases and stuff like that. So I request a reduction to 5,500. Square feet, the telephone changed to square fees. This is transfer station, where credit card fees come from, of that nature for that. Equipment maintenance, I requested that the maintenance be reduced by 1,000 just because we have the new compactor, less fees going on for that. Contractual, the waste hauling has a 4% increase per contract. So to 97,800 for the hauling aspect, that is for our MSW, the trailers that back up the compactor for that. Our waste pickup, so the parks and town hall and all that come under me for waste pickup because it's in the transfer station budget, and there's a 4% increase for that per contract. Hazardous waste day, we did not do a hazardous waste day last year. We do it every other year. It is already scheduled for August 1st, 2026. We consistently budget $20,000 for that. Special waste, the brush and burnable wood pile, I actually switched contractors with a savings from $35,000 to $22,500. So I requested a reduction there. Well testing, an increase to $8,000 due to our, we have a well monitor, so that tests the old landfill and that tracks the PFAS and those other test wells that are in there. It's an increase to that of $300. Other Commodities, oh, sorry, I'm skipping some. The staying the same, hydraulic oil, for that. Most of it comes from Public Works, but sometimes like they'll buy certain things that they need specialty down there, so we keep it in their budget. But if a hydraulic tank, if they need hydraulic fluid, usually comes from the Public Works budget, not directly from that, because you can't buy a hydraulic tank, a 55-gallon tank for $200. So it's for that. Brooms and stuff, $200, staying the same. Sorry, I skipped ahead. Other commodities. So we went to a new computerized system with Square, it's called. Great system for payment. Does all the payments, it tracks. So instead of getting the old handwritten receipt plus the credit card receipt, you'll now just get a printed receipt of what you're bringing in. It tracks the name that it goes to off the credit card. We're logging sticker numbers in that, but we still have to, the town hall, do they not use Square? So I still have to buy some handwritten receipts because they sell stickers here. Also, if somebody wants to pay cash for something, because we are cashless at the transfer station, they can still come here and pay cash for those items. So I still need some money for receipts for that. Alarm monitoring, again, went to $450. New equipment. So if you're on the deck area, like where you throw demolition and the recycling is, if you look back, there's an old box trailer that's there. I was told it's been there since pretty much the transfer station was put up. The roof is caving and leaking and stuff like that. So what we do is we use that for universal waste. So TVs, computer monitors, that's where it's stored until North Coast comes up and picks it up from New Hampshire. So we put it on a pallet, goes in there, but it's got a roll-up door. So when the roof is caving down, the door doesn't go up very well. Looking to buy, again, a used box trailer or a storage container to put in there. We'd obviously do a new loading dock to that. So the trailer is roughly $2,500 to $3,000. By the time we pay somebody to move it, build a new loading dock, I come up with a $5,000 figure for that.
Thank you. Any questions from council on any of the items? Budget committee, any questions?
I don't know if it's really related, but why doesn't the town hall use Square? If it's gonna save money.
I believe it doesn't coexist with Munis, or what, not Munis. Why don't you use Square all the way around?
It's the fees. We would have to pay the fees.
So right here at Town Hall, you pay the fees. At the transfer station, you do not pay the fee.
Okay.
All right.
I have one question. There's $4,800 for recycling education. Can you tell me what the education is for recycling?
So they, at the elementary schools, Steep Falls, Georgie Jack, and Edna Libby, the grades do a coloring project. It goes through the recycling committee. This year, we put it in the shopper's guide as a recognition. They get a $10, if they get chosen by the recycling committee, they get a $10 gift certificate to House of Pizza, but it pays for the advertising in the shopper's guide of that. It's part of our recycling program that we're trying to get people involved into recycling. And
it's almost $5,000 for newspaper ads.
So it usually averages out that we can put about 4 pictures per ad. And it's 11. Obviously, they try to pick from all the area schools. This year, it was a little less. They only did about 30 because they didn't. Some of the pictures, they just wanted to choose 30. So with that, I don't remember the exact figure, but that eats up that whole budget if we do the 11 ads with the 4 per page.
And that's comparable to what the fire department does with their safety fair, right? Same thing, you do it for recycling for Public Works. Thank you. Any other questions? Excellent. There's any amendments? Awesome. Is there a motion on this one?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion. I move that pages 159 through 169 be moved ahead as proposed.
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous. So, yeah.
Thank you for letting me go supposed to be away with my son coming up for
Yeah.
next week, so.
Thanks, John, appreciate it.
Thank you.
So what do we do now?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Do we have to meet again on April 4th?
Yes.
To finish at 9 in the morning? Okay, motion and seconded, all in favor?
So,
Go ahead.
do you have to move that to the budget committee?
We just did.
Part of it?
Yeah, we just did. On Saturday.
Saturday.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, John.